Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. Once you come to the reality that there is a species, there's two species of creations, okay? And these two species, this species here that you're looking at, these beasts have been crossbreeding with the living since the second creation was created.
Different questions, and they're all legit. I'm telling you, we're going to get this done. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks.
Watch out for 666. Watch out for 666.
Folks, I've been telling people for a long time now, we live inside of a simulation. It's a 666 simulation. It's a hexagon. It's a hex that's a spell that's been cast over our eyes. A magic spell that has been cast over our eyes. This is how come they equate in Hollywood these hexagons, because this is the 666 system. Now, before I go ahead and play this, I want you to look. Candace destroys the arena roof. The Hunger Games. So I've been sharing with people for a long time. We live underneath of a dome. Hollywood's been putting it in our face, and none of you are catching the gist of it, okay? We live underneath of the firmament. Look closely, gaze closely into this arena that we're looking at. What do you see there again? These little hexagons, right? Because what? A hexagon has 6 sides, right? Okay, you get to learn a little bit about 666 today. So Aberdeen destroys the roof, or Candace.
Let it fly, Miss Everdeen.
Remember who the real enemy is. Candace, get away from that tree! Candace, get away from that tree!
Heavens be!
Right there, folks. Right in front of your face. We live underneath of some type of generated force field that has trapped our souls inside of a flesh suit, inside of this reality. This reality here is not the base reality. Remember, the Bible tells us that Satan tries to mimic everything that the Supreme Creator does. So mankind, somewhere down the line with technology, long before the technology we're looking at here today, came across this, okay? And now they're reverse engineering the technology that has already taken place. I believe that somebody has already been trapped inside the simulation. And this is why they have it a hex, because we have been trapped inside. Watch.
Access denied. Access denied.
Job. So, what am I saying? Look here. Let's get on to some real truth. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, Bible Hub. In order that Satan should not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. However, when we come over here to the King James Bible, and this is why it's really important for people to read from multiple Bibles, all right? Every church that tells you read my Bible, is because they do not want you to find the true meaning of what's being said. The more Bibles you read, the more the spirituality, this prosperity comes of what it is you're being taught. Lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. It's right in front of your face, a thing made or adapted for a particular purpose, especially a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment. So I'm thinking that somebody long time ago already had all this advanced technology that we're coming into today. Somebody has already downloaded. This is why they're trying to get you to put a chip inside of your head, because the chip is the device. It is a plan, a method, or trick with a particular aim. So you must be aware of Satan and his devices. The devices right here. These are the devices.
In a vision of the future, I saw in a vivid dream when men will become machines.
Where men will become machines. So I'm thinking that we've already been here. If history repeats itself, this Bible that we're going through, this is how they prophesy. Because it's already been done, folks. Everything as we know in this plane of existence has already repeated. Okay? This is why history has recorded many flood stories, not just one flood story, but many flood stories. If you're searching the truth and you're reading information and you're checking out multiple channels and you're spending hours a day each day reading the Bible, as well as surfing the internet for righteousness, for understanding, for wisdom and insight. If you're using it for that instead of what most people on the internet are using it for, which is for sex and for shaking their ass and pushing their tits up on TikTok and letting it all hang out, and I watch these devices are so addicting, right? So I watch these shorts and stuff, but I watch them just to be able to bring you guys one little truth bomb. I watch movies in the music industry and everything so that I can share with you exactly what it is that they're doing. Again, the hexagon. Why the hexagon? Because we are underneath of a hex. It's so simple. It truly is. When the scales come off of your eyes, it's so simple for people to see the truth that we live underneath of a firmament. We live underneath of a dome, just like the Bible says. Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate the waters from the waters. Let there be a vault. This is what we're under, folks. We're underneath of a vault of heaven. It's possible that mankind has come to a spot in technology where a lot of these Elohim, evil Elohim, have already merged with the machine. Way, way, way back. Long time ago. I mean, fucking thousands of years ago, folks, already. They already merged with the machine. And they've been telling us that they've merged with the machine in movies like The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're telling you that there's a beast that exists, the beast of the field. But mostly, they're trying to merge man with machine.
The hour is soon coming when men will become machines.
So all of this has to deal with what's breaking out right now with the New World Order. The United Nations, there's a plan, there's an agenda. Okay, the United Nations are the beast nations that are created on the 6th day of creation. Okay, so I just wanted to do a lead in a little bit. We're going to pop over here and we're going to jump into Isaiah 24. Okay, I made this graph a while ago. If you count in increments of 6 all the way A through Z, and you total up the word computer, okay, it comes to 666. Okay, and the very first Apple computer that ever sold on the market was $666.66. So that ties us into the simulation, a computer simulation. That connects you. That connects you with the devil and his devices, right? Okay, King James again, lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Those with the scales off their eyes are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Satan mimics and duplicates everything that the Supreme Creator did. Satan is the natural body. Satan is the flesh. Okay, Satan wants to live in the flesh forever. He wants to rule in the flesh forever. Some of these parasites want to live in the flesh forever. No way would the Creator allow that ever to happen, because you wouldn't be able to see the truth. You see, Satan is obligated by the scriptures to share the truth with you. And how's he doing it? Exactly how I showed you he's doing it. He's putting it in front of your face with Hollywood movies. He's putting it in front of your face with songs. The album cover to Boston. Boston's album cover. He's putting it right in front of your face. The devil and his devices. I've heard some people say, now I don't know this, but I have heard some people say that we literally live on a spaceship. And that nobody knows what it is. And that the spaceship has this terrarium on the top of it. Now, I don't necessarily believe that the devices go that far, but absolutely these devices that we use, we look at, we use them in our everyday lives, that the computer is part of the 666 system. Okay? So I've brought you here at Pushke, the breath or the soul. So now you can equate the breath to the soul, and that there was a God that was permitted, Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause those who refused to worship it to be killed. Now, I got to take you somewhere here. See, this is what the old stuff, what they used to sell to us about our solar system and the way we're moving. But here's a fallacy, because we're told that the sun is moving through the galaxy, that this entire system, as it's doing all this right here, right now, is also moving at 2,843,666 miles per hour. You see, what they've done is they've made the sun, the sun. You see, the ancient ancestors, Israel, probably worshipped the sun when they talk about what gives life. It wasn't a sun. Christianity changed it from the sun to an son. You see, this is what NASA gives you today as our system. The sun is flying straight ahead, all right? So, and then the gravity from the sun, because of the sun is so large, and then all of this motion that's taking place with the earth and everything spinning. We're just like, folks, look, if this was the case, you couldn't have this. You just got to love NASA. And also remember that NASA, Nasha is how it's pronounced in Hebrew. Nasha, there's a H. It's Nasha. Nasha means deceive, deceitfulness. And this is why the red vector here is a serpent's tongue. And again, NASA stands for never a straight answer. Don't forget that. Okay, we're going to jump into Joshua chapter 24, the covenant renewed at Shechem. Then Joshua assembled all the tribes of Israel at Shechem. He summoned the elders, leaders, judges, and officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. So now you have the leaders all presenting themselves before God. How do you present yourself before somebody? Wouldn't that be a physical undertaking? Oh, an undertaking. And who is this God? This God here again is Elohim. Okay, Joshua said to all the people, this is what the Lord Yahweh, the God of Israel, Elohim, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham, and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worshipped other gods. Other gods. So you have one God that is given a command that you are to place no other gods before him. And so this implies that there are other gods with parables like this. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him throughout Canaan and gave him many descendants. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. I assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, but Jacob and his family went down to Egypt. Why? We all know that Egypt is Babylon. Egypt is slavery. It's bondage. Why would Jacob go into Egypt, Israel, when Egypt is the Gentiles? Just asking questions. Then I sent Moses and Aaron, and I afflicted the Egyptians by what I did there, and I brought you out. When I brought you, your people, out of Egypt, you came to the sea, and the Egyptians pursued them with chariots and horsemen as far as the Red Sea. But they cried to the Lord for help, and he put darkness between you and the Egyptians. He put darkness, the Lord put darkness between you and the Egyptians. Joshua chapter 24, verse 7, Bible Hub. Darkness. From the same as Aphel, something opaque. So your father cried out to the Lord, and he put darkness between you and the Egyptians, over whom he brought the sea and engulfed them. Your views, your very eyes saw what I did to the Egyptians. Then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. So I never saw what happened, but I'm probably thinking that what's taking place here is already done so. Then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. I brought you to the land of the Amorites who lived east of the Jordan. They fought against you, but I gave them into your hands. I destroyed them from before you, and you took possession of their land. Is this the same Lord that gave you a command that you're not to shed the blood of man? And if you do shed the blood of man by a sword, then by a sword your own blood shall be shed. This is the same God. So I'm probably saying that these gods, Elohim, they are the fallen watchers. They're not what we think they are, folks. These Elohim are tools used for the glory of the supreme creator. All right? These Elohim are the ones who have enslaved us. And for their riches, for whatever's they think is important. Somehow they've created this reality that diamonds and gold and jewels and rubies and emeralds and money are all important, and none of it means anything. It was all designed to create what you'd call social groups. That's what they'd be, social groups. So these evil beings that have been here forever are the ones that created this slave system. This is why I try to tell anybody who's listening that's young, don't ever feel badly because you don't make a lot of money. You just stay consistent. You stay focused. You keep your thoughts on spirit of truth. You walk in the truth. You always ask the Spirit when you leave the door, your home each day, that his steps guide you, that his shield protect you, his spiritual shield. There's a parable in the Bible that says that God's children, a weapon forged cannot prosper against God's children. So no weapon forged against you can prosper if you are walking aligned with the Spirit's protection. But in this parable, it's telling, in some of these parables, it's telling us to put on the full armor of God. Anytime that you're putting on armor, you are attaching yourself to the machine. Okay? You want to go straight to the Spirit and ask for the Spirit to shield you. Okay? Because no armor can ever save you from war, from battle, from bleeding out, from dying or getting killed. This is why the word soldier has soul, dies. The soul dies if it's killed in battle. Okay, we've been sold a line of shit, and these entities, these Elohims, they like using our flesh suits to blow them up and for their purpose and to kill one another, to use them to rape and commit crimes and corruption and use the flesh suit for these things. This is why it's a spiritual battle that's going on. And most don't even understand or know it. I destroyed them from before you, and you took possession of their land. When Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against Israel, he sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to put a curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam. So he blessed you again and again, and I delivered you out of his hands. Is this a physical person? Because I'm starting to understand that there's a lot of lords on this plane of existence that are men that are calling themselves gods, and the supreme spirit of truth is telling you straight out, he's not a man. He's spirit. The whole purpose of the supreme creator creating this divinity of himself was so that when this divinity created these Elohim, created mankind in their image, mankind evil in their image. These lowercase gods, very powerful, that were given power from the supreme creator. Don't think that the Satan can't create, but what he creates is something that's already been created. He's saint, and mankind is trying to reverse engineer this plane of existence. How are they doing that? They're doing it with CERN. That's what CERN is. Okay? Then you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. The citizens of Jericho fought against you, and did also the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. But I gave them into your hands. I sent the hornet ahead of you, which drove them out before you. Also, the 2 Amorite kings. You did not do it with your own sword or bow. So I gave you a land on which you did not toil, and cities you did not build, and you live in them and eat from vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant by the labors of other people. So I'm just always confused when so many people tell us that the supreme creator, the living one, is pure divine love. It's pure love, all right? And then there's another thing that the creator created, which is two-faced. It loves, but it also loves to destroy. And this powerful entity is the one that controls through chaos. Now fear the Lord Yahweh and serve him with all your faithfulness. Throw away the gods, 430 Elohim. Throw Elohim as lowercase gods. So now you know that Elohim are all used of the supreme creator. All right? And that these Elohim are not really good entities. All right? Throw away your gods your ancestors worshipped before the Euphrates River in Egypt, and serve the Lord Yahweh. But if serving the Lord Yahweh seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourself this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve Yahweh. Now remember, Yahweh, if you go over to Exodus 15:3, tells you that Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord says the Lord is a man of battle, and Jehovah is a man of war. So Lord, Yahweh, Jehovah are all men of battle, and I don't worship anything that's a man. The Bible's telling us that the Lord is a man. The Bible's telling us that Yahweh is a man. So I do not put my trust in man, period, at all. None. Zero. I don't bow down before any of them. I bow down in private, on my knees before the Spirit of truth, the supreme authority, the one that moves all things in place, to his glory and his glory alone. Then the people answered, far be it from us to forsake Lord Yahweh to serve other gods, Jesus, Hindus, Buddhas, American Idols, Jennifer Lopez, George Clooney, Matt Damon, all the new stars that are coming in. Those are other gods. Jesus even said that we are gods. Is it not written in your law, Jesus said, that I have said you are gods? When did Jesus tell us that? When he came into the garden and he told Eve, you shall not surely die, because God knows in the day that you eat thereof, your eyes shall be open, you will have knowledge and wisdom, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. It was Yahweh, Elohim himself, who brought us and our parents up out of Egypt from the land of slavery and performed those great signs before our eyes. He protected us on our entire journeys and among all the nations through which we traveled. And Yahweh drove out before us all the nations, including the Amorites who lived in the land. We too serve Yahweh because he is our Elohim. Yahweh is our Elohim. Okay, making sure here that's 24:18. Joshua chapter 24 verse 18 Bible Hub. Lord God is ours, Elohinu. That's another plural of Eloah, and anytime you're talking about a plural, okay, it is not the supreme, but it's always something that's used. So now you guys are starting to understand that Elohim are used of something else, something outside this plane of existence, more powerful than all the gods on this plane of existence. All these gods down here are trapped underneath of the firmament just like us. Okay, the other gods, folks, are those magistrates that have placed themselves in positions to be voted. You must stop voting for mankind. These are demons. When you vote that demon into office, that means that whatever demon controls that politician now controls your ass as well. That's why you'll get out in the middle of the streets and you'll pump your fist for whatever politician it is that you're voting. These are demons. These are entities, okay? And they have great power to control the flesh suit. Then the people answered, far be it from us to forsake the Lord our God. The Lord, 24 I was at. No, it wasn't. Let's see. Where did I go to? Here, 18. Sorry about that. And the Lord drove out before us all the nations. The nations, again, are the Gentile nations. Amorites, along with the Anunnaki. Okay, these who lived in the land, we too will serve Yahweh because he is our Elohim, or Elohenu, or Eloheka, or Elohun. All of them have different meanings as we read through them. Joshua said to the people, you are not able to serve Yahweh. He is a holy Elohim. He is a jealous God. What? Hold on. Feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. So, the supreme creator, the one that creates everything on the face of the earth, all powerful, all knowing, is a jealous God. You need to start waking up. Yahweh is a jealous God. Yahweh is a vengeful God. Yahweh is a wrathful God. Yahweh hates. You understand? There is a supreme creator that is pure love, and that supreme creator, he says, hey, you do what you want. This was the whole purpose of choice, decision. It's on you which way you want to walk. You don't want to walk along and worship the creator, the supreme creator, and you want to worship these lower gods, you want to worship mankind, then he's like, go ahead. What does that mean to you? It means separation. It means for some that you'll never return home. There are some that are predestined for hell. They can never return home. What is hell? Well, Christians teach us that hell is a fiery place. And in the Old Testament, hell is called Sheol. So, and Sheol is a place for the dead. And Sheol is center earth. So, I'm sorry, I don't worship any God that's a jealous God. The supreme creator has nothing to be jealous about. He's set things all in motion. He has an order. This is the way you're supposed to do it. You can do it this way, or you can do it mankind's way. This is why I say don't vote. Mankind are the one that are jealous gods. Mankind are jealous and bitter of the supreme creator because he's love. And they fell away from that because who wanted to rule? Satan, right? Satan's the one that's in power, right? Oh, doesn't it tell us that Jesus is in power too as well? All authority has been given to Jesus. Isn't that what he says? Right there. Then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Well, all authority on heaven and earth has also been given to Satan. And I've been telling you guys that Satan and Jesus are one and the same. You know, you can prove that on the holiday Christmas because you have Santa who comes down the fireplace, and the anagram for Santa is Satan. We too will serve Yahweh because he is our Elohim. Joshua said to the people, you are not able to serve Yahweh. He is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, look at what he said right there. That's key for you to understand. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins if you forsake the Lord and serve other gods. You see, this is the very first commandment, folks. You shall have no other gods before me. So it's pretty damn serious to this God Yahweh. Now, Gnostic Christianity say that Jesus came from the God of pure love and that he was sent to bring the children back to this God of pure love and not the God of this Bible, Yahweh. God of this Bible of Yahweh is a bitter, hateful, vengeful God. He's a man. I wouldn't say that. If I had never read anywhere in the Bible that Yahweh was a man, I'd be worshiping Yahweh to this day. But the minute something is told that it is a man, it walks in flesh, it has power, and it has divinity of the supreme creator, I don't worship. I go straight to the spirit of truth, the living one. He will turn and bring disaster on you and make an end of you. Folks, how many times have I showed you that he has mercy on you? This is devil speak once again after he has been good to you. He's been good to you. But the people said to Joshua, no, we will serve Yahweh. Then Joshua said, you are witnesses against yourself that you have chosen to serve Yahweh. Yes, we are witnesses, they replied. Now then, said Joshua, throw away the foreign gods that are among you and yield your heart to Yahweh, Elohim of Israel. And the people said to Joshua, we will serve Yahweh, Elohim, and obey him. Hold on. Obey him. Numbers 23:19 Bible Hub. God is not a man. So if God is not a man, why are any of us on this plane of existence identifying God as a man? You see, the Supreme Spirit sent a man, Jesus, as a messenger to bring a message to Israel, back to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, to turn back to the Supreme Spirit of truth. Yahweh is a man. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but it would appear that Yehoshua or Yahushai or Yeshua was a man that was approved by the Supreme Creator, by God, by a magistrate in this particular case, because that's the New Testament. But you can't equate God as a man or a he when he's telling you that he's not a man. Just pointing out the obvious. God is saying that he's not a man, then what is he? Doesn't say God is not a man or a woman, does it? Why do they call the earth Mother Earth? Huh? Think of that one there. Put on your thinking caps, your common sense question thinking caps. Ask questions. If you have questions to ask me. If I can't answer them, I'll get the answer. And if I can't get the answer, I'll say I'm sorry. You see, that's what's weird about the difference between me and Christian ministers. You can ask them anything and they'll spew any kind of garbage from their mouth and they'll believe their own freaking shit, man. And that's a fact. They have an answer for everything. You can't have an answer for everything in this Bible. It's a book of riddles, man. I've been studying this thing hardcore, and I only know about 5 dozen riddles inside of this Bible, man. And there's literally, thousands of riddles in this, and I want people to pick up and do the same, man, to learn these riddles. If you come across a parable that you say, hey, man, this is what I think this parable is, put it down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think. If I'm walking the wrong direction, then somebody correct me. An Israelite correct me. If I'm walking the wrong direction and I'm saying the wrong things about Yahweh, and you can prove to me that Yahweh is a spiritual being and not a man, then, which you'd never be able to do, because it tells us plainly that Yahweh is a man of war. And the people said to Joshua, we will serve the Lord our God and obey him. So you will be obedient to a God that molded you from the dust of the ground and breathed the breath of life. The breath of life is what's key on this. On the day Joshua made a covenant for the people, and there at Shechem, he reaffirmed for them decrees and laws. And Joshua recorded these things in the book of the law of God. Then he took a large stone and set it up, and there under the oak near a holy place of the Lord Yahweh. See, he said to all the people, this stone will be a witness against us. It has heard all the words the Lord has said to us. It will be a witness against you if you are untrue to your God, Elohim. Then Joshua dismissed the people, each to their inheritance. Buried in the promised land. After these things, Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died at the age of 110, and then they buried him in the land of his inheritance at Timnath Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaash, or Gaish. Israel served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and of the elders who outlived him, and who had experienced everything the Lord Yahweh had done for Israel. And Joseph's bones, which the Israelites had brought up from Egypt, were buried at Shechem in the tract of land that Jacob bought for 100 pieces of silver from the son of Hamor, the father of Shechem. This became the inheritance of Joseph's descendants. And Eleazar, son of Aaron, died and was buried at Gibeah, which had been allotted to his son Phinehas in the hill country of Ephraim. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one, the authority, the writer, the source, the very force that moves all things in place, the creator which ordains all things. He is a spiritual being, and you cannot lay your eyes on the Supreme Spirit. Nobody has. This is what CERN's trying to do. They're trying to find the God particle in the atom and stuff. They want to fight and wage war with Adam or God, or it could be Adam as well. And face it, you can never see the face of the Supreme Creator. On that day you see his face, your atoms and whatever you are will be demolished into billions of pieces. Much love. This is White Raptor News Ministries.